Hey everybody, I'm here today to make a video of myself applying caulking to a windowsill. Now if you take a look right here, there's actually caulking all along the bottom of this window. But if I zoom in on this spot right over here, you can actually see that the caulking that goes just right along here has cracked just a little bit. Now, if a significant amount of this caulking was cracked, I would actually just scrape off the entire bottom part of the caulking and just redo the whole thing. But what I'm going to do, because it's just a small area that is affected, I'm actually just going to be adding some additional caulking to this area right here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's nice and clean. So I've actually already wiped it, but I'm just going to take my hand and rub it along like that to get rid of any additional dust, any debris, anything that's going to affect this new caulking, its ability to actually adhere to that. You want to make sure that it's nice and clean because caulking and silicone and stuff will actually have a much better chance at actually adhering to a previous area if it's nice and clean. If it's dusty and dirty and grimy, then you know what, your new bead of caulking isn't going to last that long. So what I'm going to do is I just have a little tube right here of some caulking, and there's a little bit left in it. I'm just going to actually I'm going to squeeze it out, and then I'm going to get my finger, I'm going to wet my finger with some water, and I'm just going to smooth it out just like that. So what I want to do first, and I'm going to try and do this with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but I'm going to try and do it with my left hand. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it with my right hand because I don't want to make an error. I don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to try and get this tube of caulking and just get a nice solid line from about there to about there. When you're adding caulking to a windowsill or to anything like this, you want to go a little bit extra on either side. You don't want to just do the bare minimum where the cracks are. You want to add some more. So I'm going to take this tube and let's see if there should be enough in here. I believe, yeah. So it's just about to come out right there. So I'm just going to take this tube and I'm going to just put try and get a nice solid bead of caulking right along there. So as you can see right there, it's kind of difficult for me to see and also maneuver the camera. Like the camera's sort of right in my eyesight. So I'm just going to add a little bit more over there and then a little bit right down here. All right, so now that I actually have that bead of caulking, there we go. That looks a lot better now. Now that I actually have that bead of caulking, what I want to do is I want to make it nice and smooth. So the key to this, the key factor is that if you're going to use your finger to smooth out the caulking, you really want to make sure that your finger is nice and wet. So I'm actually just going to turn the water on, and down below where the camera is, I actually just wet my finger. And what I'm going to do now is just apply a little bit of pressure. This is where most people go wrong. They apply a lot of pressure to that area, but all that you need is a little bit of pressure. You don't want to completely flatten it. You just want to turn it into a nice smooth bead of caulking. So what I'm doing is I just have my finger pressed up against basically the bottom of the windowsill and the bottom of the actual window. And I'm just smoothing it out just like that. As you can see right there, just smoothing it out just like that. Okay? Now, just a little bit more. As you can see right here, I actually have created a nice smooth bead of caulking on the windowsill and the window. There's just a little bit of excess there, but what I am going to do, as you can see, I have a lot of caulking on my finger. I'm going to get some paper towel, and I conveniently have it right here below the sink. So I have some paper towel. Paper towel is basically one of the best things that you can use if you are cleaning up caulking or smoothing out caulking, because it does a great job at just getting it off completely just like that. So now I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to wet it one more time, and I'm just going to use my finger to smooth out the top right here. As you can see, there's just a little bit of caulking in the window. Just going to use my finger to smooth it out. And last but not least, I'm going to take this paper towel and I'm just going to use it to just wipe just this little bit that has sort of raised up along the window, just like that. And you kind of just want to do your best job. Now, I will tell you, when you're adding caulking to pre-existing caulking like I'm doing right now, it's basically never going to come out perfect, and it's never going to come out as good as if you're just doing a fresh bead for the first time. But for this solution, I mean, it's not meant to be a solution that is, going to last like 30 years. If you wanted a very, very long-term solution, then you should just scrape off the whole thing and start it again. But my goal with this was basically just to add on to the caulking so that when, more of it cracks down the line, I can just redo the entire bead of caulking around the entire window all at once, you know, in 10 years or anything, something like that. But just to give you a better idea, I'm just going to zoom in right here. As you can see, it's a pretty clean job. There were all of those cracks there before. Now those cracks are gone. I filled it with nice clean caulking just like that. Very simple, very clean job. Really easy to do. It actually, you know what, it only takes a few minutes. If I wasn't explaining it in this video, it would take me like something like 2 minutes just to get this job done. But that's basically it. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video of me adding caulking to a windowsill. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.